all-new Dr. Phil. They say their former employees turned their town against them.
We're terrorized in the community.
Carrie created a hate group.
It is not a hate group.
All over the closing of a children's store.
You're saying that they were liars and thieves.
Now,
You posted a picture of our baby and told people to hurt him. That never happened.
tempers flare as both sides face off.
This is my turn to talk.
No, it's my turn to talk. You didn't do this because you had a crush on Dave. Amanda and Dave. Now, they say they are being terrorized by an online hate group which has them fearing for their lives. Now, here are just a few of the threats they've seen posted. Quote, if I see her shopping with her kids, I'll shoot them all. They need to die. They have what's coming to them. Did he think, okay, he has kids, let it slide? I would check yourself before you bleep with the wrong family. What on earth would drive people to post such hateful, threatening things? It all started 18 months ago at a children's consignment store called Tummies to Tots that Dave and Amanda own. Now, who do they say is the ringleader of this group? Well, they point to a disgruntled ex-employee named Carrie, who they say is out for blood and has done everything in her power to destroy their business and their lives. Take a look.
The day that I hired Carrie to work in our shop was clearly the biggest mistake in my life.
Carrie's bent on destroying us. Carrie quit, and since then, she posted 19 fake Yelp reviews, calling us con artists, saying that we steal from people, calling our business fraudulent. Carrie has sat outside our house, kicked our gate in. She lives 45 minutes away. She has to pay a $5 bridge toll just to sit outside of our house and watch us.
We had filed a restraining order against Carrie and her husband. The judge gave them a very strict warning to leave us alone.
Carrie recruited another ex-employee, Lynn. They've been going around town, picnics, handing out flyers at the grocery store, at the bowling alley, at restaurants. She has called OSHA, fire department, police department, product recall department. Carrie's rotten to the core.
Now Carrie created a hate group. Now there's more than 715 members in the group, and Carrie is the puppet master.
It scares me because I don't know what Carrie's capable of. I don't know if one day she's going to have a gun with her and just shoot us all dead.
If she got run over by a bus, I probably would smile, and, well, I know the world would be a better place.
Well, Amanda and Dave both say that with their reputations tarnished beyond repair, the customers stopped coming, forcing them to shut their doors for good. So what happened to all the unsold merchandise? Well, that's where the problem seems to have started.
I would never have guessed that the closing of a consignment store would have been so controversial. The ridicule and public shaming here in our hometown is crazy. I can't go anywhere without feeling scared. The night that our store closed, we had so many death threats that we had to leave town. Carrie was the mastermind behind everything.
The haters protested outside of our store. They said we're thieves, we were scum. They said we stole from babies. They repeat everything Carrie says like a bunch of sheep. They talk about shooting us. They talk about stabbing us.
They compare me to Hitler, Charles Manson. The whole community hates us right now. The hate page has created a lynch mob type of an effect.
It feels like if there were 3 or 4 of them together, they would beat me up.
Our house has been vandalized 4 or 5 times.
We're terrorized in the community. We're forced to stay in our home 90% of the time.
Everything that's happened to our family, we are convinced 100% it was Carrie or someone acting under Carrie's orders.
Okay, so guys, what happened here? Because, I mean, you're right. Businesses, unfortunately, go out of business all the time.
Right.
We couldn't keep our business open.
But it was nothing that you did. You didn't do anything improper. You didn't do anything that would justify people attacking your reputation.
We didn't know how to close a business, so we did the best we could. We figured the best thing to do was have a big sale, let people take as much merchandise as they want. We sold clothes for $1 each. People came in and bought tons of clothes, and we were happy. We didn't want to get stuck with it. We didn't know what to do.
Well, Let me just get examples of some of the hateful comments that have been posted on Facebook by the community. Obviously, they weren't concerned with their child's safety when they decided to take off with everybody's stuff and money. People are freaking nuts. They'll kidnap a kid for $20, cut somebody's head off for $40. Graphic but true. They have what's coming to them. What did they think was going to happen?
We thought people would move on.
Okay, then I would check yourself before you bleep with the wrong family. Look up the word thief in the dictionary, and we'll see Dave and Amanda's picture there.
We've never stolen from anybody.
Those people are nuts. They've made their own beds. A false fire alarm was pulled at the store, and these were the Facebook post responses. You made a bunch of moms happy. Now they are sad a fire didn't actually happen. People should bash in the windows and take all the stuff they want. Damn, insurance would have paid all of those pissed mommies.
That was our life. That was our whole life.
This seems, just because the business closed, it doesn't make sense.
We're not perfect. We've certainly made mistakes, and this is our first time we've ever owned a retail store before, so it's completely a new experience for us. We certainly have never closed a retail store before. We don't have business consultants telling us how to do these things. We just made the best decisions that we could given the situation we were in.
But you say it's gotten to the point where you have people following you and taking pictures of you and your children?
We don't feel safe going
posting
to the park.
those on Facebook?
Daily,
Right.
yeah. And threats go along with the pictures, and it never stops.
So your home's been vandalized.
Kicked in our gate.
But maybe the most dramatic was they cut our fuel lines on our truck.
We were spilling gas out all over the street as we drove.
And our 13-year-old son was in the vehicle when we realized it, with gas completely surrounding the vehicle. It's not safe.
Okay, now, you say this is all, you say under the direction or guidance of someone named Carrie.
Yes.
This is somebody that worked for you.
Yeah, Carrie worked for us for about 5 months, and she's been stalking us for about 18.
So how do you feel about her?
I'm not very happy with her right now.
Well, you said if she got hit by a truck, you would smile, that the world would be a better place without her.
Most definitely.
She is a con woman. She is a criminal. And, yeah, I still believe the world would be a better place without her.
What do they say you did that was so horrific?
They're claiming that they brought us items and that we have taken those items and sold them basically without giving them any money back, which in a way is true if they brought their items towards the end of the store or they didn't use their store credit, or if they didn't ask for a check in time before we closed, then they could have taken a loss.
They think somehow we got rich. We can't even feed our kids right now because we're being stalked at such a major level. We did not get rich.
And so some people got stiffed. I mean, they gave you the stuff, they didn't get any money back for it because you shut down.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, and you say you shut down because they started attacking your reputation.
18 months before.
But for that, you would still be open?
If we had the finances to be able to keep the rent, our landlord ultimately pulled the plug on us because we were behind on our rent, because financially we just weren't able to keep it.
Did all of this start and hurt your business, or did your business start going down before this started?
Sales started to plummet as soon as Carrie started her hate campaign. She went all over. I mean, there wasn't any time you could turn on your computer.
Did she ruin your business?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Well, the mastermind behind what they call, and I quote, a community-wide lynch mob, I have a problem with that term, but that's not my term, is here. We're going to find out why Carrie says Dave and Amanda are sociopaths who continue to this day to con, steal, and victimize their small town. We'll hear from her next.
Dave and Amanda are complete nut jobs. I received a message from some random person. They hope that I die and that this person would be dancing on my grave singing Ding Dong, the bitch is dead.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil, their honor roll student is dating a bad boy.
You have been abusive with her?
Yes.
She's pregnant.
It sickens me. She's kind of half his child, my grandchild.
He's controlling.
You couldn't leave her alone to be interviewed.
About us being together.
That's not about being together. You're afraid she can say something that'll hurt you.
And violent.
He locked her in a bedroom, kids scream for help.
You get mad and you throw her out of the car.
Do you believe he could kill you?
That's tomorrow.
We're being harassed up to this day. Carrie's poisoning anyone and everyone against us. She's evil, she's hurtful. Somebody anonymously called my niece at 2 o'clock in the morning and said, "Call your aunt, the store's on fire." I feel like they would rip the clothes off my son's body just because they think it's stolen and it belongs to them.
Well, Tummy's to Tots. Sounds like a sweet name for a sweet little children's clothing store, right? Well, Amanda and Dave say it used to be. But now it's become their nightmare and has absolutely ruined their lives. They say there is only one person to truly blame, their former employee, Carrie. But Carrie says not so fast. Her former bosses are far from victims and are, in fact, disgusting, unethical nut jobs.
Dave and Amanda are disgusting and unethical and complete nut jobs. They extort others for personal gain. When I worked there, consigners were not paid on time, or if they were paid, their checks would be bouncing. While I witnessed them go on nice vacations, after I quit, they turned around and stated that I was embezzling from their store. I am not a thief. They claim that I have opened a hate page against them and that it has created a lynch mob. It is a way to educate the community. These are the kind of reviews that you can see. Was it a scam or is it fraud? Was this intentional? They file restraining orders against me saying that I'm vandalizing their property, stalking their children. It's all ridiculous. The only information that I have posted has been on Yelp. I didn't want people coming in there and unknowingly being stolen from as a consignor. I received a message from some random person with a fake profile that basically indicated that they hope that I die and that this person would be dancing on my grave singing "Ding Dong, the bitch is dead." But again, the police can't do anything. They're not saying they're going to kill me. They're just going to dance on my grave when I die. I have taken them to small claims, received labor board judgments, and I have not received one dime. Dave is a brilliant man, but also a very skilled con artist. He needs to be stopped.
Okay. If you want to weigh in on this, tweet #StoredDrama. I want to hear what you have to say at home. Carrie, what's up here? You've been listening to the show from the top, right?
Yes.
And you've heard me talk to Dave and Amanda, and they say, look, we had a business. We're not veterans at it, but we had a business. We were doing the best we knew how to do. And then a disgruntled employee starts attacking us, destroys our business, and is now stalking us, harassing us, and creating all kinds of havoc in our lives, and that apparently is you.
Apparently is me.
Yeah, so what's got you so upset?
They were not managing their business properly in the sense that there were a ton of disgruntled consigners coming in, yelling at all of us who were working there, demanding their money, demanding their things, and it became a very hostile work environment, and as a collective group, we all chose to leave his store at the same time.
But being incompetent and being a crook are two very different things. You're saying that they were liars and cheats and thieves.
All I wanted to do was quit, leave, collect some unemployment. Once they closed the store, then I realized that they had done many things at the time of their closing to cheat the community.
And that would be?
And that would be they continued to take in items with the full knowledge that they were closing. They took things in as early as the day before they closed and had people
That's absolutely
told people to come in. Yes, it is.
You weren't there. You're a liar.
You haven't been in our
Anyway,
store in 18 months.
so
I haven't been in our store in 2 years.
Yeah, I am not a liar. I have provided everything to prove that what I am saying is truth and that it's not me that is not being truthful.
So what you're saying is they know they're closing.
They know they're closing.
And they're still letting moms come in with
and
clothes
bring their items.
And say, here, and they give them a store credit.
Literally within the week before they closed, they had a huge swap event where they took in 2 to 3 huge box trucks of inventory.
Not true.
And then took it from them, gave them store credit that they knew they would never have the opportunity to redeem.
But let me get this right. So they're saying, give me your stuff, and I'm not going to give you money for it. I'm going to give you
instant store credit.
And then you can come back in and shop, among other things, knowing they were closing. They took the stuff knowing they were closing, knowing they would never be able to redeem that store credit.
Absolutely.
That's untrue.
Did you take in clothes?
No, absolutely not.
So you didn't let any mothers give you clothes?
No.
We posted a message on May 13th, 5 days prior, saying, due to the activity of our sale and the high volume, we are unable to take merchandise at this time.
And where is that?
And then we actually pinned that post to the top of our Facebook board. We actually provided emails to customers, to your staff, saying, I'm sorry, but we can't take your stuff right now, when they were emailing us asking to bring it in.
And on the hate page, numerous people say, Amanda turned me away and said she wouldn't take my stuff.
When you closed the store, did you say, those of you that have items here, come get them?
After the store is closed, we had our employees go into the store, start to sort out any items that belong to other people. We made phone calls to people, scheduled appointments to have them come in. But Carrie scheduled protests and blocked our doors. And
on the hate page, they were saying they were going to stab us and knock us over and just come in and take whatever they want. So we became scared. We returned items to some people and then stopped.
Okay, but we asked you to give us names of customers you contacted to say, come and get your things because we're closing and we were unable to sell them. And you didn't give us one single name of one single customer that you contacted. Why not?
Because it didn't happen.
I wasn't in the store very much, so I didn't know them personally. But mostly our employees handled that.
There weren't a lot of people who actually had to sell it for them. A lot of it was swap, where we gave them store credit right on the spot. They could have used it that day. They could have used it the next day. They could have used it any day up until we closed.
Okay, so you got their stuff for free then if they didn't get a chance to redeem their store credit.
They didn't come in and use their store credit, yes. And that's why people are mad, because if they did not use their store credit, then they were out their old baby clothes that didn't fit their kids anymore, and they were out the store credit.
When we come back, Dave says that Carrie isn't alone in her revenge crusade. He said she has a sidekick, and we're going to meet her after the break.
Dave and Amanda have made their living at scamming people. If their lips are moving, they're lying.
Some friends of ours have a store right next to ours called Everyday Treasures.
When we opened our store, we did purchase inventory from Dave and Amanda, and some of it was on the Tummies to Tots floor, but that was from years past.
Those women have been harassed to no end. Carrie encourages people to break their windows and steal stuff. She says everything in that store is stolen. And it's just completely and utterly ridiculous.
Even going to church, I get harassed. I have been scared for my life, and we don't know what these people are capable of doing.
Former children's consignment store owners Dave and Amanda say their lives have become a nightmare. The two ringleaders, according to them, that are behind this campaign are former employees who say they want the town to know their ex-bosses are nothing but thieves. Now, one of those ex-employees, Lynn, says she will continue to fight for her community.
I worked at Tummies to Tots for 9 months. I left there because it was an extremely hostile environment. Dave was verbally abusive to the staff. I feared for my safety there. When he was closing the store, he was taking in items, giving these people store credit, knowing it was never going to be redeemed. I would be willing to bet those items ended up in one of their new stores that they claim to have no association with. I had written a Yelp review. They threatened me. If you do not remove your Yelp review and stop slandering us, I will confiscate your last paycheck and file theft charges. And the next day, I got a call from the Brentwood police. They took out at least 3 separate restraining orders on me, saying that I was stalking them, that I had been to their daughter's school, but yet there's no police report of any of these things because they didn't happen. Dave and Amanda have made their living at scamming people. If their lips are moving, they're lying. Dave and Amanda are sociopaths.
Oh, okay. So I'm glad you're here. Are these people bad business people, or are they crooks?
Both.
Why do you say they're crooks?
Because they took in items knowing they weren't going to be able to give these people anything in return. They came to the store on a daily basis 2 and 3 times taking cash out of the register. They had to run to the bank to put money into the bank to try and make it so some of the checks wouldn't bounce.
Well, that's their store, but that's their money.
Right, but when they're not...
So you're saying a business owner came to their store to get their money, to take it and put it in their bank to cover their checks?
Right.
With a horse.
No. That's not exactly what I meant.
That's what you said.
Okay.
I'm trying to help y'all tell your story because I want to get it, but I don't get it.
We totally understand
I
what
don't
you're saying.
get what you're saying.
The checks weren't being paid.
We were very cash-strapped, and we were doing everything
So
that we
were you
could.
ducking people because you couldn't pay what you owed them?
No, what we would tell the employees when she left out
She
is
ran
that,
out of the store when a customer walked in and said, I want to speak to manager. She turned around and she
Literally
hightailed it
bolted out the
What we
door.
would tell them is find out what the amount is, find out how much the check bounce fee was, and we'll have cash there. They won't have to worry about a check bouncing again. And we would leave check in an envelope
Did
for
you
the
tell
person.
people you were donating things to charity and in fact were selling them?
No. Anything
we
that got
donated
which
to charity,
was very
and
rare.
then the charities, it was like a local church, and they were like, it's too much volume, we can't even take this. So then we changed our wording to it'll be recycled instead of donated, because we couldn't find
Actually, it said disposed
anybody that, disposed of.
We found a Facebook post, actually. And this, and let me show this to you. This was an item that was brought to the store 9 days before closing. All right. I recently took my stuff to Tummy's Summer Swap, and there was some of my items they said they couldn't use, but they said they can donate my stuff to the women's shelter, so I agreed to let them do so. I recently went on such and such Facebook site where there is another store they own to find my items that were supposed to be donated there to be sold without giving me the credit I deserve. So they lied to me and took my items that I thought was going to a needed family.
There's a couple issues with this situation right here. Obviously, we have massive volumes of things that came in. We had 3,000 consigners that would bring us things. If things came in and we didn't recognize, and it wasn't specifically being consigned, meaning that they weren't getting a commission from it, it kind of went into a giant pile. At this end of the time period, we did, when we closed, we took 2 truckloads of items. It might not have been one. Some of them just flat out got disposed of, but Fisher-Price makes more than one bouncy seat. So just because they found a picture of a bouncy seat, there's probably 2 million of them with the exact same pattern. It's not uncommon for us to have 8 of the exact same bouncy seat in our store at the exact same time. So it doesn't necessarily mean that that was theirs. I mean, Nike made more than one pair of Air Jordans.
We want the money that you people owe us.
You are a chain smoker, and you sued us because you didn't get enough 10-minute breaks.
First of all, can you prove that?
Let's take a look at a couple of other items that I think maybe were a little more specific.
Sure.
2-piece boys outfit, 12 to 18 months, shirt and shorts, Big Brother. Here they are, Lindy's son wearing the shorts prior to the eBay post. Now, Lindy, what was your understanding about this?
Those are items that I actually dropped off on May 16th, the Friday before the Monday, which they closed down. So it was the last shipment of items that I had dropped off for consignment. So
okay, but y'all just told me you didn't take anything in.
Exactly. That's why we know it's not true, because we didn't take anything after May 13th.
She probably did bring it in at some point in May, but
So there are hundreds of people who have claimed the process.
Okay, well, how do you have it to sell then?
We've been taking in inventory for 5 years. That's a Gymboree piece of clothing, most likely, and
Okay, but you say you dropped this on Friday before they closed on Monday.
Along with other items, which
and this is your son wearing the shorts, right? Okay, and you say you also dropped off this item.
Yep.
Super cute, size 6'12", M, Crazy 8, multicolor skirt. And this is your daughter wearing the skirt.
Yes.
Dr. Phil, she brought us items on 2 days, on January 6th and on March 1st. Those are the only 2 days that this specific customer brought us items, and our computer system showed them.
Was this being sold by, was this being sold by a friend of yours on eBay?
No, it's sold by us.
It was being sold to
ourselves.
him.
Okay, but you're saying that this skirt that she brought you and has a picture of her daughter wearing and now is for sale by you on eBay, you didn't get from her.
There's a 90-day consignment period, Dr. Phil, and she brought us items on January 6th and March 1st. If this is in June that it was listed, it was well beyond her consignment period, and I'm sure if you look at her account, and I did look at her account, there was out of 146 items that in her specific account that she brought us, 127 of them sold.
What are you going to do with all of this stuff? This is a storage bin you have.
We have no idea.
That is everything out of the store, and I really don't know what to do with it. I don't really want it.
Are there even tags left on these so you know where they belong? Exactly. Or did you guys just rip all those off so you could say nobody owned them but you?
Thrift store in the box.
I don't.
Hold on.
He had it on Craigslist for.
Okay, and tell me who you are.
My name's Mike.
And you are?
I'm Carrie's husband.
You're Carrie's husband. Right? That's what I want everybody to know. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, he had that on Craigslist for a thrift store in the box for $5,000 or trade for a pickup truck. And that's all Tummy's items that he took.
Weeks that he took. Then why are you trying to sell it?
3 hours.
$1,000.
Okay, so are you trying to sell all that stuff?
We're trying to pay our bills.
Are you trying to sell all that
With other people's stuff?
We have inventory to sell, yes.
People whose stuff you took for money that cannot put clothes on their children's backs now.
Exactly.
Did that never matter to you guys?
We're sorry we closed our store. We
No,
can't even
you're
feed our kids.
not.
Yes, we did not want to close our store.
Maybe you're sorry that you closed your store,
but
what you have done is purposeful to try and extort and
Carrie,
take advantage
you have no
of
idea
other
what's
people.
going on. You've been on a 2-year hate mission.
No,
I do know what's going
If we wanted
on.
flowers, you would hate them.
That's not true.
Excuse me. We want the money that you people owe us. The court says you owe us the money.
Judgment.
You have sat there and said you will never give us $1.
And your judgments are entirely based on pride. You are a chain smoker, and you sued us because you didn't get enough 10-minute breaks.
First of all,
You have never taken less than 10 breaks in.
First of all, can you prove that? You cannot. Where does it say anything about that?
Our #1 customer complaint was our store smelled like smoke.
All right, we're going to take a break here. We're going to take a break. Hold on.
That has nothing to do with it.
All right, hold on. I'm going to take a break. I don't know where they... I don't know whether they are or not, but I'm going to take a break. Now, Carrie has said, this is not a hate site. We're just trying to educate the community. Well, we're going to come back and find out if that's true, or maybe this is a personal vendetta. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. Their honor roll student is dating a bad boy.
You have been abusive with her?
Yes.
She's pregnant.
It sickens me. She's kind of half his child, my grandchild.
He's controlling.
You couldn't leave her alone to be interviewed.
It's about us being together.
That's not about being together. You're afraid she could say something that'll hurt you.
And violent.
You've locked her in a bedroom. She had to scream for help.
You get mad and you throw her out of the car.
Do you believe he could kill you?
That's tomorrow.
I was walking across the street, and Mike, Carrie's husband, literally tried to run me over with his truck. Amanda grabbed me by the arm and pulled me out of the way as Mike was speeding up, attempting to hit me. He missed me by inches.
That's a blatant lie right there. And that's the kind of things they do. I never sped up and tried to hit Dave. They're just pathological liars. That's how they roll.
Okay, you admit and acknowledge that there are people you owe money that you've been unable to pay.
Yes.
And you guys say, look, you're just doing this as a service to the community. But you didn't do this because you had a crush on Dave.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. There is no freaking way I would ever in any way be interested in that.
Someone of that.
You didn't want this to turn into a hate group.
We don't want anything bad to happen.
You didn't want anything bad to happen to them.
It is not a hate group. It is a closed, private group, and the members within that group are people who have specifically had damages from these people.
Okay, you're not trying to create problems for them
No,
or
I'm not
torture
trying
them.
to create problems.
Well, I want to
don't
take a
want
look
them to
at
do
a
business.
Facebook conversation between Carrie Lynn and another Facebook poster.
Shows what a liar she is.
Here it is. Carrie says, I know it's all going to come in waves. Us quitting, then the resignation letter, then the press, then no consigners shopping there, and then probably wanting to go after them too. We have started and exposed an uprising.
That was
And
18 months
this
before
is
he
my
closed.
turn
This
to
is
talk.
before
This
Okay.
is my turn to talk.
No,
before
it's
she
my
quit, she
turn to
started
talk.
doing this.
Okay. All right, now, these are excerpts from this conversation. It's a long conversation. I mean, we got binders for this.
This was a private
say-
conversation.
You say, I think we are stressing him out way more being silent right now than if we were talking. I think it's hilarious. Carrie, it's like he is scanning with his periscope and then says, there's Lynn, just sitting there looming, then pans over and there's Carrie. It's going to be an ambush. I love how we are torturing him.
So I would
Facebook user, is it terrible I wrote a bad Yelp review on the owners of the store using my neighbor's name? LOL. Carrie, LOL, just make up a name. Facebook user, I did. Carrie, do you think we can call the police for cyberbullying? Facebook user, I'm about to pay the boys to egg their damn house. Facebook user, they shouldn't have done this. They will not be in business after this. Carrie, the Titanic is sinking deck by deck. They ran into an iceberg. Lynn, oh my God, really? Can't believe they want to play this game with us. Dumb move.
Obviously, when you take things out of context, it's going to look very egregious.
Is there a way to put that in
Can you
context?
please let me
Everything's out of
speak?
context.
Can you please
Everything
let
bad you
me
say is out
speak?
of context.
Please be quiet. What it is,
Master at work.
okay, what it is this was a conversation where we were feeling extreme frustration at the time because he had just contacted the Brentwood Police Department and had been telling community and consigners that we were thieves.
They are.
Whether we were making the right choices within a private conversation, this was not a public conversation.
It was done on our work computer that makes it our property.
No, it was not.
It was
He
not.
found
It
this,
was pulled up on your work computer. We weren't even there.
I'm not going to condone what I said. I was frustrated at the time.
That doesn't make what you said
No, it doesn't.
educational.
It
That makes what you said inciting people.
That was not on a public forum. That was not on the Tummy's page.
This conversation was in no
So
place.
what?
It was in a private conversation between three people.
Well, I read it.
You
You read it because it was provided to you through them, but there was no one in this community group that has seen. This was 18 months
This was between
prior.
4 ex-employees.
This was a year before they closed their business.
This was a plan to put us out of business.
Yeah, this was their plan to put us
There
out of
is no
business.
plan
and they
to
went
put you
after
out
it
of
for
business.
18
Oh,
months.
wait, wait a minute. I was going to let this go and move on to her, but when you say there's no plan here, you say, oh, man, this is going to come in waves. This is like the Titanic, deck by deck by deck. They're messing with the wrong people here.
They're going to be out of business after this.
When they went to the police department and the
Hey, you
public.
write it, own it. This went both ways. Here's a text from Amanda to Lynn. Come by any of my stores or my home again, and I'm going to use a stun gun on you. Stay the bleep away from me. Keep your retarded husbands, friends, and minions away from my stores and home, or I will stun them too, you bleeping bitches.
We're asking to be left alone.
Have just seen Lynn follow me to my store.
That was the
Follow me
reason.
around. They've been at our home.
Well, our Twitter board's just blowing up right now. Ann Bridges 222 says, these people need to get a life. Wow. At Pretty Unlimited says, these business owners suck at owning a business, and these Facebook users suck at being adults. Cindy Thomas 225 says, I'm not condoning what the owners have done, but this is grown-up bullying. Next, she was a former prosecutor and believes that Carrie is walking a dangerously fine line that could leave her behind bars. We'll talk about that after the break. Hey, Dr. Phil here. Did you know that more than 16 million kids in the U.S. are at risk of hunger each day? That's more than 1 in 5 children. Now, these are our neighbors, our kids that play in the neighborhood, co-workers, friends' children. The problem is closer than you would think, but so is the solution. Join me and visit feedingamerica.org/hunger to find your local food bank to help. I'm Dr. Phil, and together, we are Feeding America. I asked Lonnie Coombs, a very good friend of mine and a former criminal trial prosecutor. Lonnie, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. This is getting out of hand, is it not?
It's way beyond getting out of hand, yes. Clearly, there were some legitimate issues here. There were some business practices that were not right, and there's some legitimate complaints on both sides, it appears. And Carrie, you started out by essentially doing legitimate things, filing lawsuits and expressing your negative reviews in appropriate ways. However, then you started walking this fine line, especially when you got to the Facebook page and some of the posts that we've seen on there. Having been a criminal prosecutor for 18 years, I would like to share with you my concern about that. You said your purpose for this page was to educate and to help other people who might have the same legitimate claims know how to essentially go after what was rightfully theirs. But some of those posts that we saw that were talking about violence, that were talking about wanting to shoot on sight, now you've gone way beyond any legitimate purpose for that post, for that page. And there's a very good chance that somebody at some point might act out on that. And even if you're not necessarily the perpetrator, they could be looking to say, are you connected to them? Did you somehow encourage or incite them? Could you be even a criminal co-conspirator for that crime? So really that Facebook page is playing with fire, and that fire could really not only hurt them, but could come back and burn you in a very serious way.
Do y'all hear what she's saying?
I do, and it has not been my intent to have it become that. We don't legitimately want anything to happen to them on a physical nature. We want to educate how to do things on a legal basis.
You're not a lawyer.
And I'm not a lawyer, and so I'm doing the best that I can with what I know.
You're inciting people to hate. That's what you're doing.
That's not my intent.
No, that's not what we're doing.
That is.
Well,
no, we're trying to tell people how that they can get their Ivans
That's not what's happening on that page.
Okay,
that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. That's not what's happening.
But we can't control what 700 people do.
Then you shouldn't try to incite 700
Nobody
people.
incited them. We were trying to give them information about how they can go to the court system.
That will certainly be your defense. I'm just saying you're playing a dangerous game, and you need to take a breath and think about that. There are remedies and opportunities to do this. You know, clearly you guys stiffed a bunch of people, and there are ways for them to be held accountable. But it just seems to me that the zealousness here and the rhetoric has gotten way too heated here. Way too heated.
There has been multiple times where I have felt like I just need to step back from this because it's become, and then something else happens to where I feel like...
you posted a picture of our baby and told people to hurt him?
No,
that after that?
That never happened, Amanda. You're lying.
We posted a Twitter poll asking, is this online group a hate group or advocates for justice? The results?
I believe that people's opinions about this group are going to be swayed in one way because all of the egregious things have been brought forward and not all of the things that have been helpful, nor have you talked about what I've posted about what the reason for the group is, what the rules of the group are, what we're trying to accomplish.
You're trying
and
to
I feel like
why
can't you be part of the group? Why can't you be part of the group? Because people want to come after you and sue you.
Let us explain ourselves on your group and say our story.
You've had
Anytime
chances
someone
to explain
defends themselves, you kick them out.
Okay.
I'm not in any way trying to justify anything that was bad that was said. I'm saying
he pointed out that you're not a lawyer, and I'm not a lawyer either.
I admit that I am not a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer, and I don't mean to brag. You're saying that they're just looking at the stuff that seems inflammatory?
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that's what a prosecutor would look at.
Right.
I'm pretty sure the prosecutor wouldn't read all the rest of the stuff into the jury.
Which is too bad, but I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it is too bad. This just needs to calm down here. And I know this is being watched in your hometowns right now, and I say to all of you, too, look, you want to calm down, because what happens is everybody gets all upset, and then something really bad happens, and you go, oh, well, I didn't mean for that to happen. Look, there are remedies here. If you lost money, go to small claims court if you feel like you need to. Do whatever you need to do. But we don't want to wish ill on anyone's family. I don't want to wish ill on Lynn or Carrie, either one, or Mike or Lindy, anybody. Certainly, I don't want to wish ill on you guys. Your business failed. It sounds to me like you made some really bad decisions in the way you went about shutting that down. Hindsight's 20/20. Maybe you'll do better if there's a next time. But let's calm this down. And for God's sakes, realize when you're posting stuff on the internet, nothing is private, and it's there forever. All right. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a very special thanks to you, Lonnie Coons, for being here and helping us today. Thanks so much. So long.